Alright, hello everyone, it's me again. So I wanted to show you a little bit of an update on my website and my blog. Actually, let me open up my blog in a different part of it. I want just the blog site. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. So yeah. So what are the changes that I've made? So first off, some of you may remember this video that I've made a while ago, which was basically me talking about how I updated my blog, and it looks like really dumb, it looked dull, it wasn't really anything special. Yeah, so one thing I was trying to achieve lately was changing the look to make it look a bit more modern, and the same goes for my main website. So before I show you the changes, I want to let you guys know that I have started streaming lately a lot more, and you should definitely check me out on Twitch. I'll be streaming there a lot more from now on. I'm streaming like basically daily, so make sure to check that out. I'm talking about my adventures in coding and stuff, what I do. So if you are interested in this sort of stuff, just let me know. I'm fairly accessible, but before I continue with that, let me show you the changes I've made to my website. So first off, one thing you will definitely notice is that it looks a lot more clean, it looks a lot more modern now. It's thanks to a few changes I've made to the files themselves. So let me open this file up. Is this it? It doesn't really matter if that's it or not, it's the blog actually. Let me open up the home folder instead. So this is the style.css file from the home website which you see right here. And basically what I did is I used a linear gradient, which basically generates this cool looking background, and set the height to 100% so it scales properly. And here, right at the footer, I had to kind of change it so it scales properly down, because when I had it before, it has like a cutoff right here and continued then from the beginning down, and I didn't want that. So what I did is I set it to be transparent, obviously. The same goes for the header, which is right here, transparent. And what I did is I added a container, so it has a minimum height of 100% and has a relative position. Basically, based on where you are on the web page, it's going to scale it down so that it looks the same way no matter how much you scroll. At least I think that's it. What else? The HTML and body itself, I set margin and padding to 0 pixels, which basically scales it up to take out the entire screen, therefore using up the entire real estate I have, which is nice. And minimum height 100%, basically using the entire height that it has available from here to down there. And yeah, and height 100%, that's just to make sure it scales properly. And the same goes for each and every part of my website. It's basically everywhere, it looks the same, but it gives it a bit more of a look. You know, you could see that when it comes to loading a bit more complex of a site or part of my website, it like blinks into the older color, but I have it so that I don't blind the user. So that's that. As you can see, also the loading times of the icons have improved. That's because I've changed their size from like 500 pixels originally to 50 pixels, which is so that I did that on stream if you were following me there. What I did next is I changed the image sizes themselves, so basically now each is roughly in the neighborhood of like 2 to 3 kilobytes in size, which is really nothing. You can like have it in milliseconds loaded, if not seconds loaded, which is really cool. It doesn't take, it takes almost no time, and the quality hasn't changed at all, because I'm using 50 pixels for each anyway, so I was like, why you have like 5,000 pixels by 5,000 pixel icon if I can just scale it down to 50 pixels and no one will know there's a change. So I scaled it down to 50 pixels on each, and it's not going to change at all, and it looks the same, and loading times are improved massively. Next up is my blog. Now, some of you who have paid attention lately, I've been live streaming my journey of modernizing basically my web page and my blog itself. Now, it looks a lot cleaner now, which I'm really happy about. And basically before, if you remember, as I showed you in the video, let me find it. Where's the original, where I'm in the beginning of my page. You could see that I had all the blog posts load in at the same time, and back in the day it didn't make any problems. But the more posts I was adding, the more problems were showing up. So I had to figure out a way of loading it pretty much instantly. So what I did is this loads really quickly, and the user can pick now which post he wants to read, which is really cool. So the user can click on this panic, for example, and as you can see, it also has a bit of a modernized look. It doesn't look so dull now, and it still looks plain. It still looks pretty plain, pretty boring, I know. But it looks a lot modern now. It isn't that blank. And I've made it this simple because I want it to load pretty much instantly, so if anyone wants to read anything about my blog or about myself, they can just easily click that. And if you go to the About page, it still hasn't applied yet. So let me show you that from here, I guess, because it didn't apply on the About page for some reason. So if you open up the index.html file from here, I'm gonna open it from here because it still hasn't applied that for some reason, but this is how it will look like. It looks a lot cleaner and it's easier to read now even. So I do not know why this is how it's supposed to look. It still didn't load properly anyway, which is kind of dumb that it didn't load automatically. This is how it's supposed to look. This is how it looks now for some reason, but that's how it's supposed to look. It still didn't apply, so I may have to go into it manually and change it. So let me just quickly do that. It's kind of a shame that it didn't load it in automatically. Really a shame. So where's the blog? It's supposed to be at the beginning. There it is. It's actually only the About page that hasn't been applied, so we can just do this. Because according to the blog repository, it's been applied, but it isn't at all. So I'll just upload the About folder into it to replace all the files. Because locally I have the changes in. Gradient. But it doesn't want to show up properly, which is kind of sad. So I'll just push it in like this and it will apply automatically. At least that's what I hope for, because it's supposed to look like this and not like this. It basically breaks the entire look. That's how it's supposed to look like. So I hope it will change soon. I just really now uploaded the files in and they have changed like just now. Like right now they have changed. Just now, a few seconds ago. So we'll see about that. Yeah, they have changed now, so we'll just wait until it loads in. But yeah, we just have to live with that, and that it doesn't show up properly for now. But it will show up properly later on. It kind of breaks the immersion. That's what kind of drives me crazy. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Make sure to check me out on other social media, and which you can see on this title screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.